Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Welcome back to another session of video learning for the topic Maritime Economics and Policy. My name is Muhammad Azamdin. I am an academician as well as logistician at University Tengku Abdul Rahman Kampar campus in Malaysia. In this video learning session, I will discuss on the topic of Malay Archipelagos and its maritime economic activities. Now, let us start the learning session. Let us start by understanding about the basic of Malay Archipelagos. The area of Malay Archipelagos consists of bodies of sea, land and island that is located between Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. It is a very vast area with 2 million square kilometers consisting of 25,000 islands. The areas of Malay Archipelago is strategic. This area connected the east with the west. It hosted major global sea route connecting trade between Europe, Africa, Middle East and Indian continent with the Far East. Most of the nations in the areas of Malay Archipelagos are members of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN. These nations are Brunei, Indonesia, Southern Thailand, Philippines and Singapore. The Malay Archipelagos is also known as Nusantara in Malay language. There are many maritime economic activities conducted at these areas of Malay Archipelagos. One of the activity consists of maritime trade. The maritime trade is the activity to move goods from one country to another which resulted from maritime tradings among the countries in the Malay Archipelagos. The trading activities either among each of the countries in the Malay Archipelagos or with their foreign trading nations counterparts such as China, Europe and the United States of America has increased tremendously in the last 20 years. These trading activities was a result of globalization in the economic activities, an approach by international corporations to diversify their business in various geographical regions. Such approach has reduced production costs and improved economic profit for the corporations. The second maritime economic activities at the Malay Archipelagos consists of maritime transportation. The main activities of maritime economics focus on the maritime transportation could be seen in three categories consisting 1. Short sea shipping, 2. Intercontinental shipping and 3. Inland waterways transportation. Each of these categories supporting different capacities of ocean transportation or ships. We could see in the short sea shipping categories where the movement of ships are within the sea and straits in the Malay Archipelagos. In the short sea shipping, the size of vessels are mostly ranging from small to medium-sized vessels. It has a depth of less than 8 meters. The vessels suitable for transportation of goods between ports in this region. Next, in the context of intercontinental shipping, the characteristic of ship consists of big ship with a depth of less than 13 meters. Such ships able to load containerized cargoes amounted to 18,000 TEUs. The ship used the intercontinental shipping sectors able to sail in long-distance voyage. In other words, such vessels able to transport goods from the port in the Malay Archipelagos to other continents such as the Middle East, Europe, America, and the United States of America. However, in the context of internal waterways transportation, it is more focused on small ships and boats, which being used to transport people and cargoes through the natural river within the land areas of Malay Archipelagos. The ship which being used within these inland waterways consists of small vessels such as tugboat and barges, traditional boats or high-speed boat. The depth of these ships are less than 5 meters, which enable them to sail within the rivers of the Malay Archipelagos. The third maritime economic activities at these areas are shipbuilding activities. Shipbuilding is referred to the activities of new building or maintenance of ocean vessels. Shipbuilding business able to build various type and size of ocean vessel for transportation of goods. Such shipbuilding location in the Malay Archipelagos located at 1. Lumut, Pasir Gudang and Miri in Malaysia. 2. Batam Island, Sulawesi, Riau and Surabaya in Indonesia. 3. Keppel Shipyard in Singapore. And 4. Subic Bay, Cebu and Sarangani in the Philippines. The shipbuilding industry at the Malay Archipelagos contribute to its country's economic development with employment to local as well as foreigners in its sectors. The shipbuilding business generate income from building or maintenance of ocean vessels, and it pays tax to the government for its shipbuilding activities. The fourth sector of maritime economic activities at the Malay Archipelagos are the maritime port. A maritime port is the connectivity point between sea and land that enables smooth flow of goods either inbound or outbound. In the Malay Archipelago regions, there are many important maritime ports that supporting the economic growth for their respective countries. The maritime ports such as Port Klang in Malaysia, Tanjung Priok in Indonesia, Muara Port in Brunei, Port of Manila in the Philippines, and Port of Singapore in Singapore are the centers of connectivity of international cargoes and trade between their respective countries and the foreign markets. The maritime port provide, apart from being the connectivity of cargo movement, it is also supporting economic activity of a countries, such as by providing employment to the domestic people in the port. It also provides trading and support services such as warehousing, repackaging, and many others, while contribute to the payment of taxes to the government. Therefore, the maritime port in the Malay Archipelagos is seen as a catalyst of economic activities for their respective nation. The fifth maritime economic activities could be seen as the fisheries industry. The activity to catch fish and other aquatic creatures from the sea for human consumption is best describing the fisheries industry. The activities also involve the growing of fish in the fishing cage as well as seaweed cultivation. Fisheries contribute economic income to the countries. In the Malay Archipelagos areas, the fish become a part of food consumptions by the people. The fish provide supply of foods to the nation's consumption, as well it is being exported to foreign countries for exportation for food exportations. The areas of Malay Archipelagos is surrounded by the sea and made its local people the sea as part of their life. Thus, being a fisherman is one of the work among those who living at the shorelines. These fishing activities generate income to the fishermen when their life is depending on the sea. The seafood and marine-based food are another economic activities which is famous in the Malay Archipelagos area. Thus, the seafood is the sixth marine economic activities at this area. The areas of Malay Archipelagos are well known for their marine-based cuisine. The fishery sources from the sea and herbs at the land make some delicious cuisine that we could find in the Malay Archipelagos area. High consumption of fish and other aquatic creatures among the people in these areas is an excellent example of the food and cuisine industry in the Malay Archipelagos. Many dishes in Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines are based from fisheries. This marine-based food cuisine lead to the establishment of seafood restaurant. The seafood restaurants in the Malay Archipelagos provide businesses as well as employment to the local communities. The industries of cuisine has created many entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs that able to generate employment to the local communities in terms of chef, waitress, procurement staffs, and many more. Let us look at the maritime tourism industry. This is the seventh maritime economic activity at the Malay Archipelago. The maritime tourism activity provide leisure to the domestic and foreign tourists to the country within the Malay Archipelago. The beaches and sea in the Malay Archipelagos provide serene view attracting tourists for visit. Scuba diving, island visiting, and sailing at the sea of Malay Archipelago is an exotic experience that attract people to visit the countries such as Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines. The natural beauty islands such as Bali in Indonesia, Cebu in Philippines, and Langkawi in Malaysia are the destination worth of visiting. Celebes, Papua, Palawan, and Sipadan are destinations for scuba diving. These activities generate income to countries in the Malay Archipelagos in terms of revenue from foreign currency inflow. The maritime tourism also provide employment to those who involved in this industry. The 8th Maritime Economic Activity shall focus on the maritime training and research activity. Maritime education, training and research activity should be considered as one of the economic activity contribute from the Malay Archipelagos. Apart from educating and training the future seafarers, human capitals, as well as maritime logisticians, these training institutions create economic activities in terms of revenue and employabilities to the trainers. These maritime educational institutions such as Universitas Hasanuddin and Indonesia Maritime Academy in Indonesia, the Naval State University and Philippines Merchant Navy Academy in the Philippines, and University Malaysia Terengganu and Malaysia Maritime Academy in Malaysia provide knowledge and learning for future seafarers as well as maritime professionals. The educational institution either belongs to the governmental departments or private entities able to train the local on seafaring and maritime management. At the same time, these educational institutions involved with maritime research and development. Funds for maritime research goes into this higher learning institution will be spent for the betterment of the marine resources of the Malay Archipelagos. The 9th Maritime Economic Activity focus on maritime or marine archaeology. The activities of marine archaeology is to search for ancient artifacts from the sea. It is as Malay Archipelagos as vast areas of sea, it holds many sunken ships carrying valuable cargoes from the ancient times. The objective of Marine Archipelago is to search and bring to surface the ancient treasures at the bottom of the Malay Archipelago Sea. The areas such as Straits of Malacca, Bangi Island, South China Seas, Bali and Natuna Island still remain unexplored for marine archaeologists. The marine archaeology contribute economic inflow upon finding of the treasures at the bottom of the sea. Prior to begin such activities, huge amount of money for underwater exploration, and it requires expertise in maritime history, underwater engineering and marine scientists to be involved in such process. The 10th Maritime Economic Activity at the Malay Archipelago is the defense and security sector. The vast sea of Malay Archipelago requires protection and defense from each individual nation. Each nation have their interests on the maritime territorial water that they need to be protected. Threats of maritime terrorism, piracy, and illegal human trafficking disrupted the maritime trade as well as harmony at the sea. Intrusion from foreign entities to exploit maritime resources, especially at the Economic Exclusive Zone or ZEE of each nation, need to be deterred. Thus, maritime and defense activities need to be focused towards armed forces. The Navy and Coast Guard are the main defense organization involved to protect the sea in the Malay Archipelagos. Each nation armed navy being tasked to defend their territorial areas from foreign threats of hostilities. Huge economic resources has been allocated for Navy and Coast Guard. The resources required for building of naval vessel, armaments, equipments, maintenance of the equipment, and the development of human resources for the navies, and the Coast Guard. Each countries need to provide financial budget to compensate operational expenditures for the Navy and Coast Guard. The Coast Guard also contribute especially in protecting the ZEE and involved in search and rescue operation. Mishap that happened at the sea from local fishermen, commercial vessel, and oil platform require assistance from the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard provide financial requirement as the Coast Guard need financial requirement as there are huge operational expenditures for the Coast Guard activities. The 11 maritime economy activity look at the marine exploration and mining. The marine exploration and mining focuses on oil and gas exploration at the sea in the Malay Archipelagos. The areas such as South China Sea, Arafura Sea, North Sumatra Sea, West Papua Sea, and Palawan Sea are the areas for oil and gas exploration activities. The exploration and mining of oil and gas contribute towards the energy sector that provide great income to the country gross domestic products. Most of the oil and gas produced from the Malay Archipelago areas are being exported to Far East like Japan and China, and also the Middle East. Exportation of oil and gas not just provide revenue to the nation, but it also create job opportunities in the energy sector. The maritime oil and gas exploration provide employment opportunities which require various skills and professional individuals. It is provide employment to local and foreign individuals to involve in this, whether it's upstream activities such as geologists, engineers, drillers, riggers, seafarers, maritime logisticians, and many more. It also provides jobs for the downstream activities. The 12 maritime economic activities is the marine salvage activity. The marine salvage activity involves to rescue ocean vessel from collision, rescuing cargoes that jettison from ships, or rescuing other property at perils at sea. Salvaging encompasses rescue towing, putting out fire, refloating of sunken ship, rescue grounded ship, and rescue disabled ship in making clear of maritime navigational route for other vessels to use. These salvage activities is being managed by private organization. Costs of operating salvage activities are high. Such high costs require operational and equipment as also manpower to execute those salvage activities. Last but not least, the maritime salvage activities create employment to the domestic and foreign seafarers workforce to be involved in the maritime salvage works. Here are lists of books and articles for your further readings. Well, we have come to the end of our video learning session. So it could be concluded that the Malay Archipelagos create many maritime economic activities that provide the economic benefits to the countries within those areas. The maritime economic activities such as maritime trade, maritime transportation, shipbuilding, the port, the fisheries industry, the tourism, the maritime tourism, the education and training, the maritime mining and exploration, salvage and defense, all of these provide economic benefits to the countries within the Malay Archipelagos. Well, this is the end of the video learning session. My name is Muhammad Azam Din. I wish you all the best and good speed. Thank you and goodbye.